Hello, Los Angeles Dodgers fans. We've got fresh, exclusive videos and the latest updates just for you. Before we dive in, make sure to join our channel and hit that like button. This is the best way to stay on top of all the breaking news. Whispers are getting louder out of Los Angeles, and if you've been paying attention to the Dodgers lately, something's felt off. The energy, the chemistry, even the usual swagger. It's just not there. Now, sources close to the clubhouse are starting to suggest that Max Muncy, the powerful slugger with a history of clutch moments, might be playing a bigger role in the team's recent funk than anyone expected. It's not about his bat or glove this time. It's about his presence, his influence, and the way things have reportedly shifted since his return to the lineup. And guess who's subtly fueling that fire? None other than Dodgers skipper Dave Roberts himself, whose recent comments have sent ripples through the baseball world. He didn't name names directly, but those who read between the lines say it loud and clear. Roberts may be pointing the finger at Muncy for contaminating the team dynamic. Now, let's be clear, no one is saying Muncy is intentionally stirring the pot. He's not throwing tantrums, and there haven't been any outright locker room blow-ups. But something about his vibe is being described as off. People around the team have noticed a shift in mood when Muncy's around. It's like a cloud. Hovers over the dugout when he walks in. Some insiders describe it as a kind of tension. Subtle, but undeniable. You've got young players walking on eggshells, and even veterans keeping their distance. And here's where it gets interesting. Dave Roberts has always been a master of managing egos, personalities, and balancing the emotional temperature of the clubhouse. So when even he hints at one guy disrupting the whole dynamic, it carries weight. In a recent post-game interview, Roberts said something that many are interpreting as a direct nod to this issue. He mentioned internal challenges and players struggling to be team first. The speculation exploded from there. Was Roberts referring to a slump? Was it about on-field effort? Or was he pulling back the curtain just enough to show that things aren't okay behind the scenes? One well-connected beat reporter said, off the record, that Roberts is deeply frustrated and that Max Muncy has become a challenge. It's not about his performance, though that's been up and down. It's about how he carries himself in the locker room, how he responds to adversity, and how he's influencing the young core. Remember, this is a team full of rising stars and championship expectations. When one player, especially a veteran, is perceived to be dragging down the collective spirit, that becomes a major concern. And when the manager's patience starts to thin, that's when we start hearing words like contamination, and the vibe shifts from just a slump to something more toxic. It's not the first time Muncy has been a polarizing figure either. While he's beloved by many fans for his clutch, home runs, and gritty playing style, there have been murmurs in the past about his fiery personality clashing with teammates. Most of that has stayed out of the headlines, but when a team is winning, those issues stay buried. When the losses start piling up and the stakes are high, every little thing gets magnified. One source said Muncy has been short with younger players, dismissive in meetings, and resistant to feedback, especially when it comes from coaching staff. That's the kind of behavior that chips away at unity. And for a team that's been teetering on inconsistency all season, even a little bit of locker room friction can turn into a full-blown firestorm. Roberts, for his part, has tried to keep things diplomatic, but even his patience might be wearing thin. There's also the question of leadership, or lack thereof. Muncy, as a veteran, is expected to be a guiding voice for younger players, but instead of leading by example, there are whispers that he's become increasingly insular, even moody. Players pick up on that. It creates a divide, the guys who support him and the ones who steer clear. It's not just about one guy being in a bad mood. It's about the entire atmosphere around the team changing, practices feeling tense, dugout, energy dipping, and a sense of disconnection that's hard to ignore. And here's where the idea of contamination really hits home. When one person's energy starts to ripple through the rest of the clubhouse, it affects everything from focus to camaraderie, to overall performance on the field. That's what people close to the team are worried about. That's why Roberts' cryptic comments have become such a hot topic. And look, Roberts isn't the type to throw players under the bus. He's known for having his guys' backs, always. So when he says something like, "We've got some guys who need to look in the mirror," you better believe there's weight behind that. He's not just venting after a loss. He's sending a message, a message to the media, the fans, and perhaps most importantly, to the player or players causing the disruption. If Muncy is indeed the player Roberts is indirectly referring to, that's a major red flag. We're talking about a guy who was supposed to be one of the veteran rocks on this team, someone who brings stability. Instead, he's now at the center of a growing storm. And if the team's leaders don't get a handle on it soon, this could spiral out of control fast. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. It's also worth noting that the timing couldn't be worse. The Dodgers are approaching a critical stretch in the season where every game matters and the margin for error is razor thin. Chemistry, unity, and mutual trust become just as important as batting averages and ERA. If the clubhouse is fractured, it's going to show up in the standings. And fans are starting to notice. Social media has been buzzing with speculation, with some calling for Muncy to be benched or even traded. That's a wild shift from where we were just a season ago, when Muncy was seen as a franchise cornerstone. But in sports, especially in a market like LA, things change fast. You're only as good as your last game and your last impression. Right now, Muncy's impression is raising more eyebrows than cheers. Of course, it's all just rumors for now. No one has gone on record saying Muncy is the problem, but when smoke starts pouring out of the Dodgers clubhouse, you can bet, there's some fire underneath. Maybe it's a phase. Maybe Muncy is just dealing with personal stuff and it's bleeding into his demeanor. Or maybe, just maybe, the Dodgers have a bigger problem on their hands than they're letting on. Teams live and die by their culture, and right now there's a sense that the Dodgers culture is under strain. Whether Muncy is the root cause or just a symptom of a deeper issue remains to be seen. But the fact that his name keeps coming up in these hushed conversations, that's not nothing. That's a sign. So what happens next? Well, that depends on how Roberts handles it. Does he sit Muncy down for a private chat? Does he challenge him publicly? Or does he ride it out hoping the clubhouse rights itself before it's too late? One thing's for sure, Roberts is a player's manager, but he's also fiercely protective of his team's chemistry. If he really believes Muncy is contaminating the vibe, changes could come quickly. We've seen veterans get benched before for less. And if Roberts starts prioritizing team harmony over individual resumes, Muncy could find himself in a very uncomfortable spot. The Dodgers can't afford distractions. Not now. Not with October looming. And if Muncy continues to be the elephant in the room, expect things to escalate publicly. Until then, we watch, we listen, and we read between every line Dave Roberts throws out in his post-game comments. Because in a season full of highs and lows, it's the stuff behind the scenes, the whispers, the tension, the rumors that could define the Dodgers' fate. Is Max Muncy truly the problem? Or is he just a scapegoat for a deeper, more complex issue brewing in the heart of LA's most watched team? Only time will tell. But the conversation has started and the spotlight is firmly on. Stay tuned. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.